Welcome to Monday Meal Prepping with Pam and Amy. Well, mostly Amy.
Hello, lovelies!
Today is a little different. This is pre-recorded, so we are not live today because we will be doing our workshop from 4 to 5, which will be live. So Amy has got a lot prepped. She's cut everything and she's going to explain that. So I will leave it to her.
Hi guys, hope you're doing well and ready to cook. And this is going to be a lot simpler, quicker, faster, but you can pause it as you go. Number one I want to feature today is our meat. It was given to us by Newland Ranch, and that is a local meat market that is in Malala that you can go and get meat from, and we will have a link for you to check out their website and make an appointment if you want to go and check out their meat locker or freezer. It's really awesome. It's like the size of this kitchen. So super cool, great local stuff, all grown right there on the farm, and it's really good, organic, humanely taken care of, and such like that. And
Grass-fed.
Grass-fed. Pam's mouthing behind me. Yes, pipe in anytime, Pam. We know we love hearing from you too. So I'm going to do some really simple recipes today. One is lentil chili with some ground beef, just a bit in there. And then I'm going to take a roast and we're going to make steak stir fry and shredded beef barbecue to go with our summer slaw that we've made before and everybody said they loved.
Beef stroganoff.
Beef stroganoff. What did I say? Steak
Stir fry.
stroganoff. Oh, stir fry. Okay. It's only Monday and I'm a little dizzy already. Okay, so I've already cut up a lot of things because I wanted this to go a little bit faster. We're going to use the Instapot for all three of these dishes. Kind of fun again. And the first one I've got going hot already. We're going to put some oil in there and we're going to make our chili. So, easy peasy on both of these. For the stroganoff and the chili, we're going to saute our onions. Cancel that and turn on that. So if you have the Instapot brand, it's saute. That's how you can get it hot enough to caramelize your onions. And then on this one, it's called the Power Pressure Cooker XL. It's just got a keep warm feature, so we're heating up that way. And it's getting pretty hot, so I think it will do just fine. So let those go. I already chopped onion. I chopped 2.5 onions, and we're just going to split it between the two dishes. And this one's nice and hot. So easy to go. Okay, last Thursday, if you were watching my Getting Saucy, you made the mushroom spice that we need for our stroganoff. So if you haven't made that yet, go back and get the ingredients for this, really easy. But this is kind of like my secret sauce for doing the stroganoff. Why do I keep wanting to call it stir fry? I don't know. All right. And Pam's getting me a Thanks, Pam. We decided today we'd stay right in this area, so I'm not supposed to walk out, so she's helping me out. All right, that's getting hot. I can smell it. I've got some peppers here. We're gonna put in the lentils. Really, any vegetables you have should go into it. It's great, just makes it more good for you. And we've got peppers, celery, carrots. I'm gonna stack all this up. And 3 cups of lentils, easy. Then we're gonna put in our stewed tomatoes and a little bit of broth and get it going. This is one of the best things. You can do this with any beans, any meat, any veggies. And then we're gonna have some spices to go in there. I believe I asked for chili pepper, ancho chili pepper if you have it, cumin, and some oregano. Some people like to have paprika also, and we'll see what we like in that. So, here we go. I'm here sizzling. Stick your eyes in there and they start to tingle. Don't forget, guys, that you can still ask questions, okay? If you just tag me or Pam, we can still answer any questions you have about cooking for these 3 dishes, and we are happy to answer them. my tablespoon of mushroom spice with the onions while they're cooking. Alrighty. Awesome. Thank you. We're going to have our cumin and ancho, and we're going to use a little bit of achote, which we got from Mexico. Yummy stuff. Okay. Would you mind giving me another spoon? Okay, I'm going to put some mushrooms in here now as the onions are starting to break down. Good stuff. Those are going. Okay. Now the spices can go in with the onions that are cooking for the chili. Let's taste the combination of these two. That's nice and smoky. Okay, I'm going to treat this kind of like a paprika. If you like paprika, because it's got the smoky flavor. And then the ancho chili pepper, I love this because it is flavorful but not spicy at all. So, like my big spice jars, because I use this stuff a lot. And thank you. Nice flavorful. You really want the mushrooms to start to kind of break down and get some juices going. So that's where we're going to add the meat after that. And I know 3 pounds of onions or mushrooms probably seemed like a lot, but it's going to cook down and be really yummy. I think the mushrooms were almost more expensive than the meat. Now, waiting for the mushrooms to break down a little bit can be tricky, and if they start to seem to burn on the bottom, just add a splash of water or a splash of broth. This is great.
I'll pipe in for our vegan friends. This lentil chili is amazing for vegan because you can do a vegetable broth and just add no meat. Lentils have are a great source of protein, so you can just make it vegan. Stroganoff would be a little tough, and then the slaw, summer slaw, you can just do without meat.
Yep, that's good stuff. All right, I'm gonna put the hamburger in now. I did put the carrots and the peppers in there. Orders, I think I asked for you to put it in right after the onions, but I like to mix things up a bit. Okay. This broke down. meantime, we can start preparing our meat. We're going to use the roast, so half of it's going to become our shredded beef, and half of it is going to become the meat to go in our steak stroganoff. So I know a lot of people get a whole cow or a half cow and they get cuts of beef that they don't like. Some people like roast, some do not. I found this to be a great alternative for those who don't want to cook a whole roast to cut it up. There we go. I'm going to trim some of this fat off of there. Don't need that. And actually, I'm going to put this in this Instapot, which is going to be for our shredded, because we do need some fats in it, and I see the rest of this is nice and lean. So I'm going to take a bit of this tendon off. Got this. Oh, that will just pull off. There we go. That can go in the shredded. It's really, dealing with this people's meat is amazing. I did not need that in there. And when you go there, you can actually take a look around the farm. They'll give you a tour. You can see the animals and see how well they're loved. It's out of the way. Oh, thanks. There we go. All right. I'm going to choose about half of this. That. We're just going to really easy put this into chunks. When you're shredding, when you're preparing something to be shredded, you want to think about what size of shreds are you looking for when you actually squish it up. So I like to make mine 2 by 3. Something about like that. We're going to throw that in here. Check our pots. If there's tendon in it, don't worry. You will be able to pick that out once it's shredded. Comes out really well, actually. So, we've got our shreds. This is a nice big hunk. I think I'm going to do this like this. There we go. Now I'm going to prepare this for the stroganoff. And I like to just take thin things like that. Now in the Instapot, it's not going to take very long to cook because they're thin. Some people, if you like bigger chunks, go ahead and make it into squares. I just find this to blend very well with the mushrooms. See, these are nice. That's a nice piece. Just thin. And they shrink up and they'll be perfectly bite-sized. We're getting quite a bit of liquid in there. That's awesome. We're just going to mix this in. So you can see I'm using a plastic board on top of the wooden board, just so we don't contaminate it. There's some tendon in there. That is very tough. Now if you were making this into a roast, this would just pull out easy enough. Since we're trying to slice it, It's being a bit difficult. I'm actually going to cut it out. Do that. There's one. Again, a little bit of fat in there is not bad. That keeps things juicy. And when you're getting fats from good animals, what am I trying to say, Pam? Healthy fats.
Grass-fed.
Grass-fed. These are good fats. We need some of these good fats in our diet. All right, last one. And I can hear our mushrooms are just about ready as well. There we go. Pretty stuff. Let me wash my hands real quick. I'm gonna put in the meat. Your next tablespoon of spices. Now, I know in the recipe I said to cut the meat and to spice it with 1 tablespoon and set it aside, and that's a great thing to do since we're trying to go quickly here. I've done it the opposite, but just get this mixed in. Basically, I'm just trying to get some mushrooms mixed in with it so that it's not sticking together. There we go. And it's got plenty of liquid in there. Perfect. Now, this is only going to take about 15 minutes total because the mushrooms are well cooked down and the meat is thinly sliced. Make sure your thing is on closed. On this it's called sealing. And we're going to press stop to the saute so that it's off. And then we're going to push meat and stew and come down. It's really a tender piece of meat. I'm going to just do 15 minutes and see where we stand. We can throw this away. All right, that's for that. Although it was raw, well, we're gonna cook it. Anyways, let's get to the chili here. Break up the rest of this hamburger. It's kind of funny to go from mushroom spicy to Mexican spicy chili, but it smells really good. All right, we've got that broken up. We're going to put the celery in there and the tomatoes. 1 can and 2. Okay, and our lentils. Mix it all up. It's really dry still. Don't worry about that. We just want to see where we're at with the mixture. And also the smell. You still want to smell your spices really strong. If you don't, you want to add a little bit more. And you can always add it once you open it too. So I'm going to put a little bit of salt in here. Was everybody able to go and order the salt that we put on there? And thank you for everybody who is ordering through our Amazon links. That is helping us. All right. Stir this one more time. And we're going to put in our broth just to cover the beans. And that will be perfect. Let's see. This one. I think we're going to use both of these.
What was one?
How old was that one?
That one wasn't open.
It wasn't? Yes, it was.
I heard it pop.
Yeah, but it's not full.
It's like 2 days old.
Oh, okay. We got that one. That one I already used. That one just smells like chicken.
Pacific is that really high protein.
Yeah, that's right. That's good stuff. That one's not. Okay. So, mix that in. Still needs a bit more. Last week, Pam took the leftover veggie scraps and she made corn broth. I mean, vegetable broth. Get the good stuff from the bottom in there. There we go. All right. Now, it's just covered. You want some liquid in there. Your beans are going to explode a bit, but that's good. Alrighty, and our lid is here. There we go. This one goes the opposite of mine, so I always get confused. That's starting. We're gonna get this one going. 10, let's do 18 minutes. I don't know why I picked that, I just did. But the meats have cooked. Basically, we're waiting on the lentils to be cooked and the veggies, so we'll open it up and see. And it's gonna keep cooking for a bit once it's opened. So that should be good. I want them to be done about the same time. This one's got 15 minutes and they're hot. The really cool thing about starting with the sauteing in these pans is that they're already heated up. So if you're starting from scratch cold, like we're gonna do with this one, it's not, it takes longer to get to the heat up process, whereas this one's already good and going. So the benefit of sauteing in your pans before you get to start them. Alrighty, we have some good beef there. Let's make our shredded beef. We just need a teeny tiny bit of barbecue sauce. And put our lids back on here. A teeny tiny splash of water. I'm going to use the can for that. And a fork. Mix it all around. Kind of down in there. And we're good to go. This we're going to do for 35 minutes. $1 an hour. 35 minutes. Let's see how that goes. I put this one on the meat stew option, and you could also use the manual option or pressure cook, it's called on this one. On this one it's called manual. So that's going. Make sure your pressure valve is back, and we'll be back shortly to finish this out. Okay, welcome back. You should be at a spot where your Instapot is almost done, and it occurred to me, I'm sorry, that most of you, probably all of you, do not have 3 Instapots. So this might not have been the greatest presentation. But what I would suggest is that you do your shredded beef first. You can pull that out. You don't even have to wash out the thing because you'll have some good juices in there. And then do your stroganoff. And that way you can do that really quick. And your lentil chili you can throw in the end, let it go, and once you open that up, it's pretty much done. So the stroganoff takes a little bit of work afterwards. We're going to show that. Mine's just finishing up, so we're going to open it up, and I like to add extra mushrooms in the end so that they're not completely cooked down, but that way they'll be in there some little nice chunks. So we're going to cook that down because it'll be pretty juicy. And then we're going to add our coconut cream, or that's when you would add the sour cream, whatever you want. And if you want to add some more spice to it, now is the time. So get that going open. And that's really good. Use this one. You don't want to stir it that much. Just kind of push it around, decide if it's too juicy or not. The reason you don't stir it so much is because then you start to break down those meats and it becomes like shredded beef in there. So I'm going to add the rest of these mushrooms. Just kind of lift them in there so it's mixed kind of nicely. Simple there. And we're going to turn this off and then hit saute. So it will cook for a few more minutes. I'm going to close this because there's actually not as much liquid as there is other times. It doesn't like that. All right, we're not going to close that. Let me clean this up. Let's see what it does when it starts boiling. This is troubleshooting on the fly. Okay, we got that going. Next, we need to make our shredded cabbage. If you remember, when we cut into the head of cabbage, you want to cut through the core, but we do not want to cut the core out because that's what holds it together in order for us to shred it with the mandolin. Okay, put some slices here. To clean it, we removed the outer edge of leaf. Okay, that's the best way to do it. Soap and water, hands have been on it. It's like peeling the orange. I really like to prefer to do that. So in here we've placed some shredded carrots already. Pam just bought the shredded ones. That was easy for me. And we're gonna do this. Get on our handy dandy glove, and you can find this under the tag products. If you look on our Building Your Healthy Foundation group, you'll find a link to go and buy this at Amazon as well as the gloves. So just please promise me if you're gonna buy this, you buy the gloves. So this is easy peasy. You're going to shred it down on the thinnest of the flat thing all the way to the core here. And basically I'm going to do that with all the rounds, right down to the core, okay? I'm going to set that to the side for the moment of speed. And then we pull out the thin julienne, and we're going to do our apples. The apples, in order to give us something to hang on to, I just hang on to the round core like that, and I'm going to shave it with the julienne all the way to the core, and turn it and do that again. See? Easy peasy. They come out really nice, and you get them mixed in there with the cabbage, and they'll turn brown a little bit, but they don't do that bad. I think because of the moisture of the cabbage and the carrots really helps them stay well. So you know how to do that. And then the mayonnaise, if you go into Getting Saucy Thursdays, there's a whole tutorial on how to make the mayonnaise, or you can use the store-bought stuff, whichever you like. I hear our mushrooms starting to go. All right, it's really good. I'm just gonna add a little bit of pepper. Did we put our pepper away?
No.
There it is. Thank you.
That was 5 turns.
5 turns. It's my nose. As you cook, you'll train your nose. All right. Yes, there we go. How big of chunks do you like in your stroganoff, Pam? Are you okay with mushroom? All right. Remember too, you're gonna heat this up again, or if you've eaten it tonight. So the first time you cook it to what you would like if you're eating it now, or leave the chunks a little bit uncooked so that when you reheat it, they don't go completely mushy. So I'm gonna actually turn this off because it's gonna sit here and continue cooking a little bit as well. And there you go. You can, at this point, add your coconut cream or your thing. If you're using coconut cream in the can, I highly suggest you can put some slices in there and open up a hole so you can get the liquid from the bottom out. Because if you don't, if you're going in here, it will squirt everywhere once it actually finds its release. So I always try to do this. There we go. And I'll tell you, it took me about 3 years of doing this to finally remember it on a regular basis. So pull that out, and we're good to go. The cool thing about using the coconut cream is that it's a little bit sweet, but the onions, the mushroom spice that we use really flavors it well, so it's good stuff. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Just gently stir that in.
Why don't you talk about the things you can put over this, or put
this over?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you can do some cauliflower couscous. It's really good just like this too. But cauliflower couscous. You can also make some spaghetti squash. You can also make some zucchini noodles. And if you do them salt cured, which we will have, did we do salt cured zucchini noodles yet? We're gonna do that. So that's on our list. In fact, I think that's on our list for next week because I was gonna do a tuna noodle casserole with zucchini noodles. So that can go over that. That can go over also there's all kinds of gluten-free pastas these days, and they're really great. The thing that I would suggest if you're doing the rice one is you want to cook it the way the instructions say, and then rinse it really well. Even if you're rinsing it with hot water so you can keep the temperature warm, they just do better. So make sure those are super rinsed. What kind of other pastas have you tried, Pam? Did you try the red lentil one?
Lentil pasta.
How was that?
It's good.
Okay. So there's all kinds of ideas. And then of course there's rice and your noodles for people who like that. So it's good stuff. This has still got a few minutes. This is our shredded beef. It's really easy. Once it's done and come down from temperature all the way on its own, you take tongs and you just smash it. If it is not smashable, you need to put it in for another 5 minutes because it should just fall apart. So that's simple, easy. And our chili here is just about finished. It just needs to come down naturally. And again, that's a stir and you're done. So thank you for watching today. Please remember to ask any questions you would like. And is that all?
If they don't have an Instapot, all of this can be done on the stove or a slow cooker too.
Absolutely. And the regular recipes, or the recipes I said, I do believe that there are other options for how you can cook them. So there you go. And if not, ask questions and we'll tell you how to do it. Have a great day.